Hi, it's Polly with Get Busy Thriving. I'm here with my kitty, Kisses. Hi, Hi, Kisses. And we wanted to do a video about a question that I get asked a lot, or asked advice for a lot, and that is, it's classic bulimia. God, how do I stop the urges? How do I, in that moment when I just feel like I'm so out of control, how do I stop the urge? Two things I wanted to say on this, maybe more, but the first thing is, that is the worst time to try and stop an urge, is when it's like full-blown out of control. Fan of Abraham Hicks, they talk about when a car is on the top of the hill in San Francisco, the car is your energy, your emotion, your thoughts, your momentum, and you nudge it off the top of the hill. If you ran out in front of it and you stopped it, i.e. you became self-aware and you realized what you were thinking and you got out in front of it, just a little nudge, you can change the course of that. But if the car's on the top of the hill and you get momentum and it runs off the bottom of the hill and you try and stand out in front of it, meaning you're in the midst of a crazy urge, it's going to run you over. So it's no wonder, for me, for 20 years, why for so long I was just over and over trying to stop that urge. And I think Catherine Winfrey's book about brain over binge, advising, in those moments, get present to the urge, realize it's not you, realize you're just having a thought. It's not you. That thought actually can't compel you. It can be very compelling, but it can't compel you. It can't move your body to go to the kitchen, to go get in the car. You, the higher self you, your consciousness, choose to listen to that thought and that energy, and it's very compelling. It sends a lot of chemical signals to you. It sends lots of compelling thoughts to you, like go, 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 just this one time, I get it. So that's the worst time to try and deactivate it. I would say that for myself and for Catherine and probably a lot of other people, when we were at the place that we stopped and got lasting recovery, the binges and the frequency of the binges and the intensity of them weren't as intense as like in my peak time when they were 10 times a day. I was when I had lasting recovery, when I finally, done, it was maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, something like that. So it wasn't the 10 times a day mode. So, I just want to say, like, when you're in that crazy, manic, how do I stop this? That's not the time to do it. I would say that you've got to work on your energy in other times of the day. You've got to be looking at how is that momentum getting started? And how can you, A, deactivate it earlier, get it at the top of the hill, and B, how can you start momentum going in the direction that you want? So I find that bulimia is a state of disempowerment, and it's because of disempowering thoughts, actions, behavior, all these things that you give up on yourself because you've told yourself so many times. So how can you start building self-trust, doing small things to begin to believe in yourself, begin to trust yourself again, have little wins that you can grow, that can regain your trust with yourself. It's self-love. It's caring for yourself, not putting yourself last, putting the people pleasing, the everyone else is right, or working yourself to death, chasing opportunities or people or whatever. It's like, good God, slow the hell down. Slow down and take care of yourself and be good to yourself and sleep, for gosh sakes. If you've not seen it in my blog post about willpower and how sleep is a huge, huge factor in having willpower. And that gas tank, willpower is a gas tank, by the way. You look at my post about that. Maybe I'll put it in the footer here. So willpower is a gas tank. And you only have so much gas for the day unless you refill it and refuel it. And when I'm coaching clients who are having that afternoon binge or that evening binge, they're getting themselves so run down by the afternoon that the willpower is just not available. You have no gas in that gas tank to fight that momentum, right? Or even be aware that it's started. You just are like, screw it, I give up, right? So self-care is the other thing. So I would say also self-awareness. So realizing that at the top of the hill, you're starting to have thoughts that are going to gain momentum, and cut it out. And I got a lot of blog posts that I hope you can find about your triad and how to, break your state. That's a great word from Tony Robbins, your state. So when you get into that panicky state at the bottom of the hill, not the right time. It's probably, over and done. So how can you create a state that you want to live in so that you don't even nudge the car off the top of the hill, let alone it's at the bottom of the hill? So my morning process, okay, I'm going to remember to post that and share that with you also. So the morning process is around creating rituals and routines in the morning that support you and make you, I liken it to like putting your rudder in the water and setting the course for your day, So a lot of my life, all of my life until I learned about Abraham Hicks' morning process, and I started practicing it in my life, and I've done it now for, 4 years or more, and I teach it and I highly encourage it. It's just so transformed my life that when you wake up in the morning and you're intentional about how do I want to start this day, and you create thoughts and you focus your thoughts on I am statements and your vision and self-love and just feeling from your heart the place that you want to be in that day, not like, just jumping out of bed and I'm late, and or picking up on the thoughts you had the night before, because those thoughts are readily available, and actually they will likely be the vibration that you wake up to if you don't put yourself to sleep in a good state. So it's putting yourself to bed in a loving, calm state, peaceful if you can. Some days aren't always perfect, so be it, but intentionally in the morning. And one of my favorite things, I'm super sweet here, Kid just has he's decided to sit with me, and he's my little buddy, and he comes to me in the morning. I don't know how he knows that I'm awake, but each morning he comes to me and he snuggles with me. Hi, buddy. he snuggles with me, and he reminds me of love and that love energy. And so what can you do to create that? I listen to Abraham in the morning, I snuggle with my cats, and I just think about things that I'm grateful for. There's all kinds of routines. You can do this in any number of ways, and it doesn't have to take very long, but you do it with intention and do it consistently. So, I did Abraham's 30-day challenge, or whatever you want to call it, with the morning process, and it was incredible. And the peaks and highs that you can go with this, there's no bottom, there is no top to how happy and joyous and loving and amazing you can feel and grateful. So I hope those will help you. Again, the time to stop the urge is not when you're in the middle of the urge. It's before. It's way before it. So it's being more mindful throughout your day of, you've nudged your car off the hill, and get out there and stop it. Change the direction of your thoughts, step back from whatever that is, get out of the environment, change your physiology, take some deep breaths, go for a walk, all kinds of coping mechanisms. But it's about catching it earlier. And I would say it's about also being more intentional in your day of setting your rudder of the vibration and the energy and the state that you want to be in, because you can have a much better chance of maintaining that. And get some sleep. Okay, hope that helps.